Welcome to The Right Stuff from Goldspot Pens, a podcast that guides you from pen noob to aficionado in less than 20 minutes. I'm your host, Tom Otto. In this episode, I reveal the 5 best-selling pens of April and share tips on how to store your fountain pen ink collection. Hang out until the end, and I'll give away something on my desk. First, a quick disclaimer. These top 5 pens are based on sales, likes, comments, and customer reviews on Goldspot.com during April 2024. This isn't my personal top 5 list or greatest of all time list. It's a list created by you, the fine people of the online pen community. Retro 51 starts the countdown with a space-themed limited edition pen that honors the bravery of astronauts past while supporting today's brightest scholars in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Retro 51 partners with the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation to launch the Mercury 7 Rollerball pen. 2024 marks the 40th anniversary of the formation of the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation. This nonprofit was created in 1984 by the surviving Mercury 7 astronauts to encourage university students to pursue scientific excellence and ensure the United States would remain the global leader in science and technology for decades to come. Longtime Retro 51 pen collectors might remember the 2018 Space Race 3 pen set that featured the Mercury Redstone rocket design, along with Gemini and Apollo. Instead of designing this pen after the rocket, Mercury 7 focuses on the spacesuits worn by the astronauts. Retro describes the Mercury spacesuit on the pen with acid etching, screen-printed graphics, metallic silver, and white lacquered metal trims. The NASA Meatball logo, Mercury 7 space patch, and the 40th anniversary ASF logo all adorn this pen as well to create the overall commemorative design. Each pen of this limited edition is numbered on the top ring with 1,958 pens made in total, 1,958 being significant for the year that NASA was established. Mercury 7 is packaged in a commemorative tube that also serves as a pen stand for your pen. The knurled twist top engages the capless black Ref 5P Rollerball refill, which can be replaced with a Parker-style type refill if you should desire. Since Retro's launch of the Mercury 7 Rollerball pen, they've been rocketing off the shelves and quickly made April's top 5 list. Goldspot still has a good supply of the 5th most popular pen for $68 each. Next on our list is a pen that's after the heart of seasoned pen collectors. The 4th most popular pen of April 2024 is the Platinum 3776 Century Shape of Heart in Chai Latte. Chai Latte couldn't be here to accept this award. Instead, I have a Shape of Heart in Ivoire to show you the features of this limited edition pen. Chai Latte is the 3rd design in the Shape of Heart series that is based off the immensely popular 3776 Century model from Platinum of Japan. The Shape of Heart blends the workhorse functionality of the 3776 with a bejeweled expression of luxury. At the heart of this design is the heart breather hole found on Platinum's nib. Instead of melting down the punched out gold heart, Platinum put 3 hearts into the domed cap finial along with zirconia pieces. The pieces in the domed cap finial move around and shift as you hold the pen and rotate it. Also, light catches the zirconia with an iridescence of color. And the 3 heart pieces are somewhere in there, and it can be a challenge to find them because they're very, very small. They are the size of the breather hole of the nib, so legit is very, very small and hard to find. So it can kind of be like a fun little game that you have with yourself as you may be waiting in a meeting or just kind of idly passing the time and you want to play with this pen a little bit. You could use a loop or maybe the zoom feature of your phone and try to find those pieces as you shift around the pen and sort out those zirconias. Then you also have the matte finish of the pen, which is beautifully, it has like a certain type of feel that is unique and really doesn't seem like it's that often encountered with resin pens. It's this kind of like this nice soft, it's not brushed but it's not shiny or polished either. And with the Chai Latte you would have the barrel is this creamy white color and then the top is more of a taupe, and then instead of the rhodium finish here with the Ivoire, the Chai Latte has rose gold, or they say pink gold finishes, which really amps up, I feel, the luxury of the pen. As you expect with any Platinum 3776 pen, the nib writes beautifully with a 14 karat gold nib. It's pretty fine. It's a Japanese-made nib, so it's a little bit finer than European styles. And it also includes a cartridge or converter to start with. The shape of a heart comes packaged in this presentation box. The pen is stored here, and you would have the cartridge converter and a 20 milliliter bottle of mixable earth brown ink, which would go nicely with the brownish sort of tone of the chai latte pen. Folks were eagerly anticipating this 2,000 piece limited edition and utilized our back in stock notification feature on our website. The moment the chai latte arrived in inventory, our pen pals did not delay, making it the 4th most popular pen of April 2024. Holding at the 3rd spot since last month's top 5 pens video is the Narwhal Nautilus Horsehead Nebula fountain pen. Inspired by the stellar beauty of the cosmos, Goldspot commissioned Elise from Starry Night Resins to mix a beautiful resin worthy of the extraterrestrial equine. Here's what our customer Janice C. had to write about this pen. Absolutely beautiful, writes smoothly and well, easier to clean than most other piston fillers. Some 1.1 millimeter stubs write thinner than others. This one writes thicker, but easily and well. It also writes well vertically, which is good for me since I tend to hold a pen like a plotter and let it write under its own weight. Happy to have bought it. So as one might come to expect from custom resin, as this is made hand done from Starry Night Resins, is that each Horsehead Nebula has a unique swirl of colors and sparkling glitter particles inside. So most will have an explosion of orange contrasted with cool blues and purples with twinkling holographic sparkle. On this particular pen that I'm holding in the video, there's a dense concentration of that sparkle towards the end of the cap and where it connects with the clip. And they will all kind of vary somewhat, although I think in the experience of the ones I have seen in our stock is that the cap tends to have most of this fiery orange towards where the cap band is, and then so does the grip section, but sometimes the orange can carry throughout the entire barrel. There's some hints of it in the particular piece that I'm looking at, but there's more purples and blues that are in this one as well. You can see how much fuel is in the tank of this piston filler pen through the retro-futuristic porthole ink windows. This celestial themed design is complemented with a gold-plated clip, decorative cap band, and gold-plated trims. Our inventory of this limited collaboration is fading, but you can still find our 3rd most popular pen of April in all nib sizes, fine, medium broad, double broad, and a 1.1 millimeter stub, exclusively available at Goldspot for $160. Back-to-back space pens and the 3rd space-themed pen on this month's list, the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 Galactica Universe is back, earning the runner-up spot. You might recognize this pen because back in February, the Galactica Universe in silver trim was the #1 bestseller. The addition of 300 pieces quickly sold out and left pen enthusiasts wanting more. So Leonardo indulged a new run of the Universe material made by Taylor Pen Co., this time with gold trim. Much like the swirling acrylic of the Narwhal Horsehead Nebula, each Leonardo Galactica Universe has a distinct pattern of swirls, color distributions, and shimmer throughout the pen. Bold blues mix with deep purple and a fiery orange similar to the orange that you see in the Horsehead Nebula pen. Each Universe pen is discreetly numbered on the back of the cap and is limited to 400 pieces total. The Momento Zero Grande 2.0 is a generously sized pen that uses an internal brass piston mechanism to fill and an ink window to gauge the amount of ink in your pen. Writers have 2 options for the Universe pen, which is a number 6 size stainless steel nib with an ABS plastic feed, or a number 6 size 14 karat gold nib with a feed made from Japanese ebonite. Prices start at $275 for the steel nib and $428 for the gold nib, of which I am holding the 1.1 millimeter stub in the gold nib. The gold nib version also includes a 40 milliliter bottle of Leonardo ink, whereas the steel nib version does not. So the question is, Leonardo's done this once before with the silver trim version, now a gold trim version. Would Leonardo do it again if this pen moves just as quickly? Perhaps a black trim. Only time will tell. For now though, you can find most nib sizes of April's 2nd most popular pen, the Galactica Universe, available while supplies last. Moving up from the second position last month and taking the top spot in this month's top 5 list is our collaboration with Edison Pen Co. and the Carolina Pen Company, the Edison Newark Red Abalone fountain pen. Pens can hold a magical influence on us, and this pen recognizes the brilliant skills of artisans who have honed their craft. First, you have Jonathan Brooks of Carolina Pen Company. With so many options of acrylic materials on the market, Jonathan stands out from the crowd with beautiful rods like Red Abalone. Then Brian Gray and his team at Edison Pen Co. expertly craft the Red Abalone pen blanks into the slim, streamlined profile of the Newark pen model. The result is best described by this 5-star review from Megan C., who writes, "This is a beautiful pen made with very high quality. The writing experience is very comfortable and the nib writes very pleasantly. A lovely mid-sized limited edition that is in a gorgeous material. Each pen has the edition number engraved on the barrel and filled in black to match the black oxide pocket clip and blacked out stainless steel JoWo No. 6 size nib. Now, only 6 pieces of the Wizard remain, available only at Goldspot for $199. There you have it, folks, your top 5 pens of April 2024. To recap, at number 5 is the Retro 51 Mercury 7 Rollerball pen. Number 4 is the Platinum 3776 Shape of Heart in Chai Latte. Number 3, the Narwhal Nautilus Horsehead Nebula. Number 2, the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande Galactica Universe in gold trim. And number 1, the Edison Newark Wizard Red Abalone. And now for the question of the week, which comes from Overwhelmed Geek, who asks, as our collections build, is there a way ink bottles should be stored and or maintained to ensure they last as long as possible? Now, don't worry, Overwhelmed Geek, many of us pen enthusiasts are overwhelmed with ink. Ink bottles are fun and relatively inexpensive to collect compared to pens. They also provide a wide array of colors to write with, plus properties like shading, sheen, shimmer, and water resistance. This particular ink is Waterman in the Serenity Blue. It has a nice amount of shading, it has a little bit of sheen, especially when you put it in broader nibs, and it's very easy to clean out of my pen, so I tend to use it to test pens. It's kind of like a very safe ink to use for testing. You could explore a wide array of different colors that incorporate shimmer, that are limited edition, so there's a lot to collect out there, there's a lot to experience. Yet most pen enthusiasts have way more ink than we could ever possibly imagine to use in a lifetime. So how is it that we can preserve the ink so it doesn't spoil by the time we want to use it? Over my 15 years of experience in selling fountain pen ink and collecting ink myself, I have a few helpful tidbits that can ensure your ink lasts for as long as possible. Here's a list of do's and do nots for storing fountain pen ink. Do cap the ink securely after opening. It might seem a little common sense here, but you don't want to accidentally cross-thread the cap to let liquid then escape and evaporate. You do also want to do your research first. Some inks have a reputation for developing mold or slime in the bottle. I won't name names, but I will say that some are a bit more prone to others that develop this issue. And definitely do keep your ink bottles out of reach from small children and animals. Now for the do nots. Do not store your inks in an area that has prolonged exposure to direct sunlight or experiences dramatic changes in temperature. Also, don't introduce other biological matter into the bottle. For example, the bottle is open and then one sneezes in the direction of the bottle. Or, in order to prime your nib for writing again, you may, some people do this, decide to lick the nib, like the very tip of it. No, saliva contains bacteria, and the warm and wet conditions of the ink bottle then would cause things to grow. It's kind of disgusting. I don't want to talk about it, but you could get the idea from there. Also, you don't want to cross-contaminate with other ink colors, so you want to make sure that your pen is completely cleaned out before dipping it into another bottle of ink. So if you're using the same ink in the same pen though, then you're kind of free to go back in if you've filled it up previously with the same ink. But if you really want to go over the top and make sure that nothing is touching that ink that shouldn't have anything else on it, you could draw up the ink using a syringe or an eyedropper and then fill your pen directly that way. That would probably be the safest method, just as long as the syringe or eyedropper is also clean. So just make sure that's clean as well. Congrats go to Overwhelmed Geek for being picked as the question of the week. You've won the Cross Bailey Year of the Dragon fountain pen I mentioned in last week's episode. Email me at tom@goldspot.com to claim your prize. For this week's giveaway, an Opus 88 whale fountain pen in fine point is up for grabs. To enter, you must be subscribed to the Goldspot Pens channel, like this video, and leave a comment with a question you'd like for me to answer in a future episode. If I answer your question of the week, you win. If you'd like to see me write with the pens mentioned in this week's episode, you could check out Goldspot Pens YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikToks for writing samples. Thank you for checking out this week's episode of the Write Stuff podcast by Goldspot Pens. Now, go out there, put your pen to paper, and write stuff. Till next time, stay inky, my friends. Take care.